Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys, for being here. Welcome to the Plasma Tuning Tribe. There are a few people that said they would show up, but I've just got to send them the recording because of last minute changes. But for all of you who have shown up, thank you so much for being here. I'll just go do a quick rundown of how we're going to do this. So I'm just going to do a little spiel, a little introduction about Biofield tuning, and just bear with me. Like, I know a lot of you pretty much know how this thing goes, and you've heard me talk about it heaps, but just for the sake of the recording, I will do a little explanation, and then after that, I'll get you all to lie down and you'll get to experience that. And that should probably go for about half an hour, 40 minutes. And then we can come back and have a little chat. And you don't have to stay for that part. You can go if you want, but we'll have a chance to just have some reflections and see if you experienced anything. And yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm really glad to be here. So with Biofield tuning, let me give you the quick rundown. I know like a lot of you guys know this, but Biofield tuning was created by Aileen McCusick, and it goes off the premise that we all have a biofield, which is essentially the human aura. And this extends about 5 or 6 feet from our bodies. And this is actually made from plasma, which you can think of as organic electricity, right? But each and every one of us have a unique biofield, and it actually stores our memories from birth, whereby memories from birth are held at the edge, and the more recent memories are closer to you, like rings of a tree. And it's equidistant, whereby if you were, let's say you were 40 years old, the memories from birth will be held at the edge, and exactly halfway between the edge and you will hold the memories that you had when you were 20, and it's equally broken up like that. Now, this contains our flowing life force energy, and if we experience trauma or pain or unprocessed emotions or any kind of just strong memory, it can cause tension in the field, which then end up building up a lot of blockages, which eventually downstream can manifest as physical ill health. And so Aileen McCusick discovered, she wasn't the first person discovered Biofield, but she did do a lot of groundwork on what this involved, the rings of the tree, but she also discovered that this biofield has an anatomy whereby the same types of emotions are always held in the same places. So I'll give you an example. Let's say when you were a child, you were told that children should be seen and not heard, or you were shut down, or you're surrounded by people that didn't listen or would scold you for speaking your truth or anything like that. That memory can act like a cookie cutter, right? So your energy goes through and it comes out, and you end up creating the same experiences again and again. And somehow you end up being surrounded by people who constantly shut you down or who don't listen to you, until you clear those experiences from the beginning, right? That's why sometimes you might feel like we go through the same relationships, the same mistakes, the same issues again and again in our lives, because we haven't restructured the pattern that's been created by those initial memories, especially below the age of 7 years old, right? Which is why we know so much of our childhood memories can really affect our future experience. Yeah, and so a good example would be the feet and the knees. So in the Biofield Anatomy, the feet and the knees are your foundations, and they literally relate to where you're going in life, the steps that you're taking, your direction in life, and how you feel about it. And this can be really influenced by your birth story, right? And so your birth story, as in like when you come through as a soul through the stargate of your mother's womb, taking your first steps into the world, are literally the first steps you're taking, your metaphorical steps in life. But if you were like a breech baby or you were a cesarean, like this energy or this pattern can have a profound effect on the rest of your life in ways that are actually quite literal. So if you were, let's say, premature, or you were like suctioned out, you might have this feeling of like getting really angry if anyone ever disturbs your peace, because you're like, don't disturb me, this is my peace, and you're sucking me out of my quiet little womb or the little corner that I want to be in. Or if you were pulled out by forceps, you might feel like very agitated if anyone sort of tries to change a direction, or you might end up being a little controlling around, like, to try and manage the things around you, because that was your first experience in when you try to take your first steps and they were really uncomfortable. And so we're going to focus a fair bit on the birth story today and things around your feet. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things that are held in the Biofield Anatomy, which are held in different places. We're just going to focus on the feet and your foundations today. So I think that's kind of a good enough. So I'm going to be using the tuning forks. I know last time people said that the sound wasn't great, but I think I managed to fix that because I've got a clip-on mic and I'm going to have one here as well, which I think is a good idea. So you should be able to hear the forks a lot clearer. But I just want to remind you that it doesn't actually quite matter so much the sound that you're hearing, because what's actually happening is that I'm using sound this end, but through the ether, I'm actually manipulating the energy field around you, right, which is the plasma. So it's actually done on an energetic level, and the tuning forks are just the tool. So even if the sound doesn't come through that clearly, the work is still being done. Okay, yeah, and so before we go into questions, there's like a few things that's your job. So what your job is to do is just relax, really, and stay present. Just relax, stay present. I will be talking throughout it, but also, you know, if you happen to have some memories come up, that's okay, go with it. Like, allow yourself to experience whatever you're experiencing. And remember that I'm going to get you to try and do grounding breaths, right? So that's really important, to move the energy through your body. And a grounding breath is all just breathing in through your nose and almost imagining pushing it down through your feet, just like. So you'll hear me doing a lot of that, right? Just some heavy breathing on this side of the mic. And that's going to really help as we go through sticky spots or anything like that. And the other thing is, yes, there will be a few times where I will ask you to repeat some spoken affirmations. So when I say repeat after me out loud, I'd really like you to repeat the words that I say out loud, because this means it's a declaration to the universe as your truth. And it's really powerful when you do. So at certain stages throughout this little tuning, I will get you to repeat some affirmations out loud. So make sure that you do that. But yeah, so before we go into getting you to lie down and do what it is you need to do to get ready for this. Oh, who have we got here? So many people. We got Megs, we got Lucy, Liana, Sam. Oh, made it. Awesome. So good to see you. And your cat. Hey, cats love tuning. They really do. So you might see them come around. They either hate it or love it. Sometimes they like the vibrating ones, but the other ones can be a bit full on. But has anyone got any questions? And if you do, just unmute your mic and ask away. Or any reflections. So when we do this, I'm going to turn my video off. You can leave yours on and off, whatever you want. But if we have no questions, then let's get started, hey? All right, so you can turn your mics off, and also you're welcome to turn your video off if you want. And we'll get started, and you can just lie down and we'll go from there. Okay, we are going to start. I'm just going to open up the space. Okay, before I turn away, can someone just tell me that they can hear me all good and that we are good to go?
Can hear you, Jessie.
Awesome. Thanks, Catherine. All right, I want everyone to just take a few deep breaths and just start to come into your body. And what does that feel like? You know, people are like, yeah, come into your body. So it means feeling every part of your body. So feel your toes. Feel your legs. Feel your abdomen. Yeah, and just take a deep breath. And I'm going to go to the hologram of everyone who is listening now and everyone who might listen in the future. And I'm taking an imprint of this, and I'm going to be working with that particular energy field. So now I'm coming to the bottom of your feet, right? The beloved Earth Star. You all know I love the Earth Star. So the Earth Star is an energy center that really should sit about a foot below our feet. But if we are feeling ungrounded, we wear rubber-soled shoes that disconnect us from the earth, we are anxious, or we feel a bit like curled up in ourselves, it's like our earth star can be a little bit tucked up close to our feet, right? So I'm going to harness that earth star and we're going to bring it down. And you might feel like really subtle tingling. You might not feel anything at all. It's totally fine. Just relax and observe and see what happens, okay? Okay, so just bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Just see what you can feel. Yeah. So collectively, this earth star is very tucked. So just like a general feeling, it's like we want it to be about 25 centimeters below your feet. At the moment, it's sort of, and not everyone, but it's quite close. Let's say it's less than 10, right? So just bring your awareness to the bottom of your earth star, bottom of your feet, and see if you can just imagine a ball of light here. And I'm going to say it's like, to me, it shows up as like an orangey, reddish, earthy color. Just see this ball of light below your feet. And I want you to take a breath in through your nose and push down through your feet. Yeah, good. Whew, so I'm feeling like a lot of anxiety. This can be background anxiety, it's like the anxiety of having too many unread text messages, or the anxiety of needing to get back to people, the anxiety of like a work deadline. But just, you're in this place now, and just come and focus on the earth star, and just for this hour, none of that matters. Take a breath in through your nose, push down through your feet. Yeah, good. Now I want you to do that again, and on the next out breath, just imagine any of this like worry and anxiety, just imagine like breathing it down into the earth. She will hold you and she will keep you. Okay, that's much better, yeah. Now I just want you to still imagine this beautiful, it's like the size of a mandarin, your earth star, and it's spinning just below your feet. We've come down now about 20 centimeters. It's really good. And I want you to imagine this earth star becoming brighter, and as it's spinning, it's sort of like picking up all these pieces that might have been dispersed, like sometimes things can disperse our earth star when we say yes when we mean no, or we really wanted to go this thing but we didn't, or we just did something anyway, or if we wish that we were traveling but we're here, or something like that. So we're just going to bring all these parts back in. Imagine this earth star getting really bright, really strong. It's becoming clearer. The clarity is important, right? I said this in my last thing. It's like some people say that money is the root of all evil, but I think confusion is actually the root of all evil. Because when there's distortion and we're confused and things get confuddled, that's when untruths can come in, fear can come in. But we want clarity, so that there's a clear channel, that there's a clarity that the light can come through. Okay, yeah, that feels good. That feels strong. Just imagine that ball spinning. And take another deep breath. Send it down through your feet. We're going to send an energy cord down into the earth and connect your earth star with the heart of the earth. And there's this cord that's anchoring you down deep into the earth. And you can see this cord like this braid of light from your Earth star. And just imagine this braid of light becoming stronger and stronger. This is your anchor. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, doesn't matter what's happening. If you're ever feeling anxious or ungrounded, just tune into your Earth star and anchor that into the Earth. And surely you will feel a little bit calmer, a little bit more connected, a little bit more grounded, a little bit more anchored. Okay, I'd like everyone to say this out loud, okay, about pulling ourselves back in. So, this is the affirmation. Please repeat after me. I pull in all parts of myself to this moment now, and I take my power back. I take my power back. Across all time, space, and dimension. Take a deep breath in. Yeah, wow. Sometimes I get these interesting visions, and it was like just after doing that, it's like all of these light bodies were like slamming back into the Earth star, and it was good. It's good. Bring it back to center, because that's power, isn't it? That's power. When you're fully anchored and centered and grounded in your being right here, right now, that's power. You know, not when you're spread out, wishing you did that, wishing you were there, wishing that something else was happening anywhere but here. You're going to be spread thin. You're not going to be able to hold and anchor your personal power very, very easily if you're spread out all of these places. So that's just the power of your personal integrity. All right, so just imagine this Earth star, and it's this beautiful, bright ball of energy below your feet. Now we're just going to pull this energy up from the Earth. Just imagine this beautiful green light that's bringing relaxation up your legs, up your central channel, because we want to have an open and clear central channel. Coming up your pelvis, around your stomach, around your heart, around the back of your heart. And it's just this relaxing, loving, healing energy that's just bringing spaciousness and relaxation into your body. Breathe it up. I always get the feels when this energy comes to the heart. It's like the pressure and sort of like the fighting we do our whole lives to protect our heart, right? Because we're sensitive little beings. But just if you imagine just using your breath to open some spaciousness, because a closed heart, it's not going to protect anyone except for limit your experience. But the true power lies in being able to maintain an open heart despite what the world around you is reflecting back. And over time, that open heartedness will be reflected back at you. And it can be scary. You know, this is why we have heart shields. This is why we have boxes around the heart. But just whilst you're here, just open up that breath. Open up the chest and out the top of your head. Just imagine this column of light coming up from your feet, just opening up your central channeling and opening that up so that you're open to creation intelligence flowing through you, open to unconditional love and graciousness to flow through you, rather than if you're tense and you're tight. And when you have tension in your body, there's a lack of flow. Lack of flow in your field means lack of flow in your body, which causes inflammation, which can lead to disease, so on. All right, I won't go on about it. But yeah, kind of feels like a little wiggle can take place. You might want to wiggle your pelvis. I know I did this last time, but it's sort of like get those hips gyrating just a little bit. God, just a little bit. Yeah, even move your neck from side to side. Nice. Now I'm going to go to your sun star, which is at the top of your head. So this can be in the same way, should be about 25 to 30 centimeters above your head. But if we work in offices that only have fluorescent lighting, or we are constantly surrounded by Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, artificial electromagnetic frequencies, it's going to cause your sun star to like get tucked in. Also, if you consume a lot of media mindlessly, like doom scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, which I'm sure everyone does at some point, it can kind of just build up a lot of noise in the signal up here. So I'm going to go to the top of your head and just, oh yeah, sorry, I just got a bit, wow. So I'm just going to stay here for a little bit, and we're just going to like almost imagine pulling up, just pulling up top of your head. Should feel some like relief of any pressure that's up there. Just, yeah, okay, so it's really weird. So what I can feel, so every session's different, right? So I really just have to stay open and observe what's going on, because it's like everything's going different. And right now there's like there's a bit of a cloud. That sounds better, actually. That was fast. It just felt like a really dense, like, just like a bit of a dense cloud that was going on up there. So just imagine opening up, clearing the densities, right? If there's a little cloud above your head, just imagine that cloud is just like dissipating off and wisping into the wind. And we're gathering your sun star again. I see this as like a blue-white, sort of electric blue-white lightning color. And this is spinning above your head. And it's getting brighter and brighter. And as it's spinning, you can imagine all of like the densities and stuff just like psh, psh, just getting splattered away. Opening up the top of the crown. And we're just going to pull that sun star up and try to mitigate any of these artificial frequencies. Yeah, so it feels like, yeah, there's this really interesting phenomenon when I do tunings on people who sit under fluorescent light a lot, or, you know, which can be surrounded by that unless you've got block blue lights. But it's like this sharp, it's like a sharp energy that kind of feels like shards in the top of your head, but we can just like clear the effects of that so that it's warm and open and clear. Yeah, and we're just going to open that up so that's open to the guidance from spirit, open to guardianship of any supporting energies around us. Open to the graciousness, open to creation intelligence flowing through. And we're going to pull that energy down from the top of our heads, down again. Because your biofield, it's a bidirectional field, right? It's like a donut. You've got energy flowing down, you've got energy flowing up. So we've got to open up both channels. Oh yeah, that feels way better. Beautiful. So this is the thing, you know, it's sometimes people think, oh, it's how you're doing group sessions. That means you're like having to clear more and more people. But actually, when you have group intention, it's almost so much faster because you've got like multiplied intentions of like, yes, open and clear. And actually is really profound. It's amazing. Okay, opened up the inner central channel. Awesome. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to your left foot, and we're going to go to the edge of the field, which means left foot is generally to do with the past. If you feel stuck in a situation, if you feel mired, don't like your living situation, you don't like your relationship, you don't like your job, whatever it is, right? That's usually the stuckness can build up in the left energy. And we're going to go to the edge of the field because that is birth. Whew. All right. So I say that, this is really powerful work, especially for someone who's had a really traumatic birth. But truth be told, everyone's birth is a little bit traumatic in this world, where they like slap you on the bum, they cut off your umbilical cord, and they probably inject you with something or other, or your mom's on drugs, or like, it's terrible. Like, what kind of newborn wants to come into that? But we have tuning, so whew, I'm just going to sit here for a little bit, because there's a lot of, what is that? Okay, there's some anxiety and fear, right? And this could very well be coming from your mother, because you're about to push a baby out, so I don't blame her at all. But I want you to all imagine you are in the birth room and you are being born, and you're there with the doctors. Oh, okay, sorry, I just got the message. We're not doing birth. We're going back a little bit. We're going back to conception. My bad, I apologize. We have to go back to conception. So, parents, I know we don't want to imagine this, but just bear with me for a second, okay? So conception has happened. I just want you to imagine, as you are growing in the womb of your mother, just imagine surrounding your mother and you with this beautiful pink light, if you can. And this is safe and it's protected. And it's just immersed in all of your cells as you're growing. And your mother, and any of the emotions that might be happening. And it's just infused with this unconditional love and safety. Okay, now we're coming to the birth story. So we're going back to the operating theater, or wherever it is that you were born. And you've got your mother. You are about to come through the stargate of your mother's cervix and across the river of life into this world, and the doctors or the midwife, whoever's around you, and just pause for that 1 second. We're just going to pause, and we're going to fill the room with this beautiful pink light. It's like a pink cloud of liquid love light, and this is relaxing, and it is comforting, and it is safe, and it is full of love and graciousness and joy. And this light is infusing your mother and you as you come through with just love and joy and peace throughout the whole room, throughout all of your cells. And I want to see if you can try to do this. This might be a little bit of a leap, but it's like, imagine as you're coming through, just like embrace with your love or your mind, as baby Jessie comes through, and just welcome her or him into this world. And just pour as much love as you can into that little baby. Whew. And we're just going to use the intention to release any dissonance or disharmony that has happened from the birth story, whether it's, a cesarean, a breech birth, forceps, or even a natural birth. Just release the emotions, release the anxiety, allow them to dissipate. Allow those patterns to recorrect. And now we're going to send you on your way as you are going home. And I want you to imagine this beautiful pink, and a little bit of gold wants to come in now. So this pink and gold, beautiful bubble of light is surrounding the little baby. And this is going to stay with you throughout your life up until this moment now. And this is the bubble of safety, of joy, of belonging, of unconditional love, of graciousness. Yeah. Yeah, and there's this feeling of like, well, if we're stuck in a situation where we don't want to be in, or this and that, I think it also comes back down to sometimes people don't know, like they don't realize that they didn't want to be there, in the first place. So there's like this feeling of like coming back to yourself, getting to know yourself, and like really tuning into your needs and your desires. And what brings you joy. Not what the world tells you that you're meant to have, but like truly, what is it that brings you joy and purpose? All right. It's still, I'm just going to stay here for a little longer because it's still not the clearest signal that I want. So you guys just sit with it and relax a little bit whilst just continue seeing that bubble of light that's surrounding you, that's guiding you throughout your entire life, right up until today. All those experiences, especially as a child when we feel helpless. And this is the thing, sometimes as children, we kind of are helpless. We are reliant on the guardians around us. And that can make us feel really stuck if it was a unpleasant situation, or we didn't know how to protect ourselves or keep ourselves safe. We didn't know how to speak up. And so we're just going to bring some awareness to those experiences. And I'm not going to ask you to let them go, because this is part of you. This is part of your experience. And I sometimes feel like when people say, oh, let it go, you're disowning a part of yourself. But I think what is going to be more important is accept that these things might have happened, accept it, digest it, pull it back in, and then just allow your life force to redistribute. It's a subtle difference that might not seem that significant, but I feel like it is. Yeah, that's feeling a little bit nicer, a little bit clearer. And we're going to pull this energy into your left foot. Yeah, that's nice. So what I do is, if you haven't had a tuning session with me before, what we do is we comb in, we bring all of those like stuck bits, and then we pull it into whatever energy center, like chakra, we're working with, and then we pull it forward. It's like we comb it in and then we release it forward, as if like you're taking your next step. So that's the way that then you're like regaining that life force energy so that you can redistribute it properly back into flow, rather than having all of your energy stuck in these memories or stuck in these experiences that aren't doing you any good other than being kept stuck. All right, good work. Okay, we're going to say another affirmation just whilst we're here. I'm going to just do the knees as well. Okay, just repeat after me. I choose to let go of any false beliefs that are preventing me from living my highest path with ease and joy. We're going to do that again. Okay, repeat after me. I choose to let go of any false beliefs that are preventing me from living my highest path with ease and joy. Big breath in, release. Another big breath. All right. Just going to change up the fork for a second. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we're going to go to the right foot. The right foot is direction in life and how we feel about those next steps, or it can be quite connected to our purpose. And so, I do believe that the quality or the patterns held in our field are actually dictate our physical health experience and our physical life experience, right? And some people will say, well, I just fell over and twisted my ankle. It was a physical thing, right? And which is fair enough because physical is so interconnected and, there's feedback and stuff. But I would argue and say it could have possibly been a weakness in the right foot of your field, which then created the vulnerability of your right foot to be injured. And then that's what happened. And it's interesting because in my whole life, like all sports, gymnastics, whatever it is, accidents, every single injury that I've had has been in my right foot. Even when I was like 7 years old, I stepped on a rusty nail and it was my right foot and I had to go to hospital, so many injuries, only my right foot, not my left, which is probably indicative of my life, having lived in 3 different countries and then having doing my entire study and my master's and doing my career and then just completely turning around and doing that. So probably weakness in my right foot because I was trying to find my purpose, trying to find my direction in life, having to start over again. And before truly finding what brings me joy and what brings me a sense of purpose. And so, yeah, this work can be really powerful. So right foot. Okay, what have we got here? Yeah, so I'm still going to come in around the edge. And we've done the birth story, so we're just going to focus on whatever else is here. Oh yeah, I'm feeling a lot of energy moving up my right foot, up my right leg. Yeah, I just get this feeling of there's a lot of meant to be. Meant to be. Man, do I understand meant to be, all right? Chinese family, okay? Christian family. There's so many meant to be's and should be's. It's insane. Growing up in Malaysia, a Muslim country, it's like you're meant to do this and you're meant to do this and this is what makes you proud. And oh man, so there's a lot of meant to be's here. And let's just forget about the meant to be. So the meant to be is this cloud that we are dissipating. And it's just melting away. And these are sometimes the meant to be's of societal expectations and end up being adopted as our own beliefs and our own meant to be's, and I've definitely been a victim to that of saying, I should be here by this age, I should be there, I'm meant to be doing this, all that. And then at the end of the day, if you don't feel connected to your own inner sense of peace and your own inner sense of joy and purpose, all of those meant to be's will end up becoming a cage that will probably end up being our demise. Okay, I don't mean to be so nihilistic here, but the meant to be's, man, let's forget about them. What about the want to be's, yeah? what is it that I want to be doing? And then let's change that want to be doing into the what am I doing? So we're not wanting anymore, we're just doing it. Because we're allowing this energy to flow. We're allowing the rubber to meet the road, right? And I get this image of like you're a wheel and you're spinning at like 300 miles an hour, but you're getting nowhere because it's just spinning. It's like you're skidding, right? So we're getting traction. We're imagining that rubber meeting the road, and that every step forward that we take in life is driving us towards what brings us joy, our purpose, our satisfaction, our inner peace, our inner power, and our own personal strength. Because everyone has something to give, right? Everyone has a unique purpose here, no matter what it is. But if it's not bringing you joy, then I guarantee it's not going to bring anyone else any joy. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuckness here. Okay, we're going to say another affirmation. Oh, there's a few coming up today. I didn't necessarily plan this, but I feel like this is going to be a good one. Okay, so please repeat after me. Okay, I am open to allowing creation intelligence to flow through and guide me on my path forward. I am open to allowing creation intelligence to flow through and guide me on my path forward. Deep breath in and release. And there's like a little bit of fear, right? That comes from, oh, what if I do that, what's going to happen? What if I get rejected? What if I fail? And I'm speaking to myself just as much, right? As something that's like a fear of failure is something that I've really had to deal with. And I know like some of you know that you've like actually helped me through this myself, of like needing to be a high achiever, needing to be really successful. And what's the worst that could happen is that I could fail. And that was a terrifying concept to me. It was terrifying. I'm sure it's terrifying to a lot of people. Some people less than others. Some people, my partner, he loves it. He's just like experiential to the max, right? He's like, do it, fails, that's fine, move on. Do it, fails, that's it. And I'm like, how are you doing that? We're just all built differently, right? But there's a little bit of that like fear. So what's the worst thing that can happen? You could fail. So what? Like seriously, that's what I could say. So what? You get up and you move on. Because if you never try, then guess who's missing out? But yeah, it's okay. Like, it's okay. We can just be, and we can try, and we make mistakes. But if you never take that step forward towards what is going to really feel like your meaningful purpose, then we might just get some stuck energy in our foot. We don't want that. All right, we're bringing that in. Whew. Okay, so this is really interesting. I'm about like not too far out from the right foot, and it feels like lockdown. It feels like collective COVID, because so before it's sort of like I'm picking up on, oh, some people felt this, some people felt, this is like, oh my goodness, everyone has felt this, right? So we were just living our sweet lives, and suddenly we got locked down, got COVID, we lost our jobs, businesses shut down, we went bankrupt, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no doubt, right? I can't even believe that was 5 years ago. But we're just going to sit here for a bit, right? And there's a lot of emotions and almost like blockages and tension here. So I just would like everyone to collectively just take a deep breath. Bring some spaciousness into that. And just allow that energy to move through. Oh, yeah. I say lockdown, but probably not everyone here in the call is from Melbourne, but I'd say most of the people from Melbourne would have been really affected by that. I know other people, either other countries or different states, didn't quite experience how bad it was. But for those of you in Melbourne, I get it. We get it. It was horrifying. And it changed pretty much everyone's lives in drastic ways. But that's very connected to right foot and moving forwards. All right, we're going to bring that energy back in. And I want to flip the script, have a little radical rechange. If there's any fear, right, about those next steps. So the feeling, so in Chinese medicine, the feeling of joy is like they say is like one of the highest energy, highest vibrational, but it is borderline. It can't be maintained for very long because it's very close to being manic and fear. Like you're like so joyful, so joyful. It's like manic and fear. So let's flip it the other way around. And it's also extremely close to excitement. So we are going to try and shift that feeling of fear or nervousness into excitement. And just put a smile on your face and just feel that excitement, you know, like you're vibrating with excitement. And like release the apathy. And oh man, the apathy. Oh, I could go on so much about that, but personally, the apathy of like, what does it matter? What do we do? No one's listening. Like, why do we even care about putting our spirit work out there? People just living their lives. And I realized apathy is part of the program. It is part of the program. So do not. And once I realized that, it was much easier to overcome that, because who gets to take away your joy? Who gets to do that? Like nobody. You are in your field and you get to be a master of your own life. And I totally understand that there are sometimes circumstances out of our control, but bring it back to your center. Bring your power back to you and have the wisdom to know what you can change and what you can't. Okay. I'm just gonna do, so I want you to just, I'm just doing your feet, a little bit on that knee whilst I'm here. Right knee. Right knee holds a lot of those beliefs that block us from moving forwards. I think I might have said this last time, but 9 out of 10, well actually maybe it's more 8 out of 10 now. First sessions I do with people is right knee. Because it's like they might know their direction in life, they might know their purpose, but their right knee is blocking them from moving forwards, from whatever internal beliefs or whatnot. Cool. So now I want you to imagine your feet, they're glowing, and there's these like beams of light shooting out from the front of your feet, and you're just like lighting up your pathway. Can you just imagine that for me? Okay, I'm just going to do a little coming off the back of your chakras. You don't need to do anything. You just stay there. I'm just flipping the hologram. So the back of our energy centers, right? So the front is all our projecting. It's like speaking, loving. But the back is like the support we feel. Receiving love, receiving abundance, pleasure, money, support from the guardian, support from the universe on our path forwards. Okay, I think that we are good. So I am going to now wrap you up in a little cocoon of love, which is really, really nice. I'm changing forks to And as this focus just wrapping up your field, just imagine this, your field is bright and it's not sticky. It's smooth. So that when you go out there into the world, things don't stick to you. It's just, you're smooth. It just passes through you. Or you're so smooth and you're so slick that you're like slipping through and nothing can touch you. And it's bright, it's resilient, like a juicy water balloon. A smooth, big, juicy water balloon. Smooth, big, bright, juicy water balloon. And we connect you to the universal divine will. I'm just going to close the space up with a little prayer. So I just want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you who have shown up today in person, as well as anyone who might be listening to the recording in the future. And express gratitude and thanks to any of our guiding spirits or the guardians of the land of wherever we are residing that have come to bear witness to this occasion today. As I close up this healing portal as a service to love and the heart of humanity, may the energies continue to work on each and every one of us according to our gentlest and highest good, maintaining the energetic integrity of your field and of this space. Okay, so just slowly wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, slowly open your eyes, and just anchor yourself wherever you are. You can tell yourself, I'm in my body, I'm in my home, in Melbourne, in the Highlands, wherever it is. And slowly come back to, and oh, will you look at that, 8:58. That's good timing. And yeah, so if you guys want to come back online and come and say hello, you can. Or if everyone has fallen asleep, which can happen, that is totally cool. Yeah. So I think that, oh man, I'm so sorry. This is really important. I forgot to mention was feeling good. Oh dear, you're feeling good. Awesome. Okay, before anyone goes, this is really important. I totally forgot to mention the salt bath. The salt bath. Okay, so, oh, thanks, Meg. Sol and Megs. I'm not sure who Sol is, but Megs, thank you so much for that. The salt bath, before you go. So it's really important that we have a salt bath because when we have a lot of this energy moving, it can release, it's like a detox, right? So if you experience a detox, you want to have something that will pull the toxins out of your body and it'll really help recharge you. Like it really will. So if you can have a 20-minute salt bath, that would really help this process. If you don't have a bath, do a foot bath. I'm sure everyone has a bucket. You can put your feet in there, a warm salt water bath. If you don't have Epsom salts, you can use rock salt, sea salt. Doesn't have to be tonight. I know it's late. So I'm just going to open up this chat because I might. Yeah, so if you can't do that tonight, because it is a little late, tomorrow, the day after, it'll really help, especially if you feel any detoxy symptoms, right? Detoxy symptoms, you might feel it, you might not. You might feel a little bit lethargic. You could feel a little emotional for the next day. Don't worry about it. Don't try to overprocess it. Just allow it to move through. It's a really normal part of the process. I know a lot of you who've had one-on-one tunings with me have felt a little bit like, oh, don't worry, this wasn't too intense as we're doing a group session, but If you feel any of those things, it means that you're releasing some stuff and it's actually a good thing. So salt bath, you can even have it again if you're not feeling it, just over the next day or two. Drink lots of water, try to rest, and get your bare feet on the earth if you can't do a salt bath straight away. It'll really help to move that energy through. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording and get, if anyone wants to mention it so that is not on the recording.